What's up everybody? If you're an Apple Music user, I promise you that you're gonna learn a bunch of stuff from this video. As today, I'm gonna be sharing with you all the latest features, tips, and tricks in Apple Music that will help you get the most out of my favorite streaming service, Apple Music. Well, without any further ado, let's get this video started. But just before we go, do me a favor. If you think that you learned anything from this video, don't forget to hit that like button down below and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started. The very first feature we're going to be talking about is related to playlists. So if you just go into any playlist, when you swipe left on any song from a library or a playlist, you're going to get two options. One in the purple and one in the orange. One in the purple will actually add this song to be played next, whereas the orange one is going to add it to be played last. Now this gives you a very great granular control into when you want this song to be played. So let's say that I have this song playing right now, and I can just go to here, swipe, and say play next. And as you can see, if you come here in the queue, you'll see that it gets entered as the next song to be played. Now if I had, let's say, a bunch of songs, if you look here again, we have three, where the last one is War, whereas the first one is Until It's Gone. Now, let's say I want to add Keys to the Kingdom, and I want to add it to the last. I'm just going to click on this orange one, and you will see that it gets added at the very end of the queue. Now, another great feature is that if you just pull and keep pulling, it's going to use the first option, which is play next. So let's say it's the summoning, and if I just pull like this, it's going to say playing next, and you're going to see it gets added right here. The same way, if you swipe from right, you're going to get different options at different times. If you're in a playlist by an artist or something, then you're going to see the plus icon, which will let you add it to your library. So if I just click plus here, it's been added to my library. Instead, if you go to your library and go to one of your own playlists, so let's say I go to one of my playlists right here, that doesn't work. If I go here, I can swipe left on it and I can get different options, which is download for offline listening and delete. So again, in here, if I'm keep pulling, it's going to select the first one, which is download, and it's going to download it for the list. Now the next playlist feature we're going to be talking about is collaborative playlists. This isn't out yet even in the betas, and we are expecting this one to be coming in iOS 17.1 betas after the release, and that's what they had announced, that it will come later this year. But this is going to be a game changer according to me. So what you can do now is you can create playlists together, and 9to5Mac here had shared some screenshots from back when it was announced. And as you can see here, the screenshot of how you can add people and collaborate with people to have collaborative playlists. So basically everybody in your collaborative playlist is going to be able to control the music in here, including adding and deleting the music from here. I think this will be a great feature for people who are social listeners or like to share their playlists. Even for people from YouTube, I think, they're going to be able to collaborate with different creators and be able to share their playlists like that. But for everyday people like you and me, I think this is going to be great if you like to listen to similar music with your partner, with your friends and stuff like that. And then you can also use the share play features, which we'll talk about in a sec, to listen to this music together. Now, one of the best features of Apple Music, according to me, is lossless audio. The first thing you need to do as soon as you sign up for Apple Music, or if you already have and haven't done this yet, is go to Settings, Apple Music, Dolby Atmos. You can leave this on automatic. I like to leave it on always on. Doesn't really make a difference. It actually works just like automatic. But, I'm a little crazy, so I keep it on always on. And audio quality, the most important thing. Turn on lossless audio. If your mobile data is fast enough, I would suggest that you turn this on even for mobile data, so that when you're in your car, when you're moving around, let's say you're traveling, you're still going to get lossless audio. 5G and Wi-Fi streaming, lossless again. And then for downloads, lossless again. Now you do have an option for high-res lossless, but I would not suggest switching this on unless you use an external DAC to listen to music, because this is the highest quality, but your normal earphones, your AirPods Max or Pro are not going to be able to take advantage of this. Now, on the topic of using AirPods or other headphones, a lot of people say that they are just using Bluetooth and they are not actually giving us the lossless quality. That's not true. It is true that true lossless, pun intended, can only be enjoyed with wired headphones, but the fact that there is more bitrate here itself makes a difference in the audio quality, and you cannot tell me otherwise. If you listen to it, you will hear it. Now, I've also compared this to Spotify lossless. It's called high-res over there, I think, but it just does not match. This is one of the best features of Apple Music. And if you go to your now playing screen, you'll see that any song that is playing in lossless will have this logo here. And you can just type here to see the details about what bitrate you are getting. So here it's a 24-bit 48 kilohertz ALAC. Now ALAC means Apple Lossless Audio Codec. So it's a proprietary Apple codec. And it also says that it is available in high-res lossless. So like I said, if you have an audio DAC and you like to listen to your music through the DAC, you can turn that on. Now another great feature is Dolby Atmos. And in addition to that, spatial audio with Dolby Atmos. So in Apple Music, actually, you can go and just look for audio that is spatial audio. So you just go to your search tab and you'll see the first section in browse categories to be spatial audio. And you should experience this if you have any of the AirPods that support spatial audio. Now, but just not spatial audio, Dolby Atmos is amazing as well. So just like lossless, if you have Dolby Atmos, you will see the logo for Dolby Atmos appear right here. Now, staying on the now playing screen, one of the next best features is full screen artwork. Full screen artworks have arrived at Apple Music. You might have seen this in Spotify as well, but in Spotify, they are parts of the already existing music videos, whereas, at least that's what I have seen. Whereas in Apple Music, the labels have created a lot of times specialized art for this, and these look absolutely gorgeous. You can find these in a bunch of songs, and they look absolutely gorgeous. And I actually really love them. Now for our next feature, you just need to tap on this left icon right from your now playing screen. So if you click here, you're going to see the lyrics. Now what you're going to see is for a lot of songs, these beautiful set of lyrics with word-to-word syncing. Now this doesn't exist for all the songs, but different labels and artists are continuously working on bringing this feature to their songs. Now even if you might not have word-to-word lyrics for each song, you definitely have line-by-line synced as usual. Now another interesting thing is if you can obviously scroll through the lyrics, but if you just scroll and click on any part of the lyrics, the song is actually just going to sync to that part of the song. Pretty amazing. Now while we are on the lyrics screen, I don't know if you guys have heard about it or not, but Apple has introduced Apple Music Sing, which is basically karaoke in your Apple Music. So what you can do here, as you can see, is you can just click on this icon and slide up and down. What this is going to do is, this is the default mode where you can hear the lyrics as well as the music. But if you just long click on it and bring it down, this is going to just make all the lyrics disappear and you will only hear the song. And you can actually adjust the amount of lyrics that you want to hear. Now let's say one of your friends doesn't know the exact lyrics or usually is always off in terms of beats and has no understanding of your beats. I know, right? So what you can do is kind of set it to the middle, and that will allow you to listen to the lyrics just a little bit so that your friend now can know when to start and when to stop singing the lyrics. Now coming to the next part of the now playing screen, if you look here, you can see the share play icon. What you can do is just click here and be able to play music on multiple of your devices or cast it to any other device. I have my HomePod mini here, my AirPods Pro, AirPods Max, and the best thing is, if you select, let's say, AirPods Pro, which supports share play with multiple people, you can actually select both of these devices, for example, and they'll be playing in sync. You can individually select this volume on each of the devices, and now you, your partner, or you, your friend, everybody can listen in together. I've never counted how many these support, but I'm pretty sure that even if it's here more than 2 and let's say 3 or 4 and everybody has their AirPods, you can share your audio through this with multiple people listening to the sync. Now, just a week or 2 ago, Apple has actually released AI-powered stations for you. So if you just go to your Listen Now section and scroll down a little, you'll find your station and a discovery station. And what these are supposed to do is help you find new music or similar music. So if you go to your own station, you're going to listen to songs that you usually listen to, or you're going to hear very similar songs. Whereas if you go to your discovery station, it's going to help you find new artists based on what kind of music you hear. And I've heard reviews from people that this is absolutely great. This algorithm is almost as good as Spotify's, is what I've heard. Now we all know Spotify has the best recommendation algorithm, but to be honest, I only agree to some extent. For example, I actually like YouTube Music's algorithm if you like to listen to very similar music. Whereas if you like to discover new things, Spotify's algorithm is better. And what I've heard is these discovery stations are as good as Spotify for discovering new music. So as you can see, you can just scroll through. These are none of the songs that I listen to regularly. I've heard them once or twice maybe, and I do know that some of them are in a similar vibe to what I listen. And let's say that you don't like the Discovery Station for what it's recommending you. Well, don't worry. Just pull it down and click on it again, and it's going to start recommending new songs for you, and it's going to try to create a new playlist. Now, continuing on the playlist theme, if you just go to your browse section, you're obviously going to be able to find a lot of albums, a lot of charts and stuff like that, such as the top hits today, stuff like that. But if you just go to your search section, you'll see a bunch of things here. One of them is going to be charts. If you click on charts, you're going to be able to see different charts for different countries, of course. Top 100 global, top 100 Ireland, UK, US, Canada, and stuff like that. But another amazing thing is that you can actually find a top 25 chart for the nearest big cities. Now, in the city or town that I live, it's not that big, but the closest one is Dublin. So as you can see, it's going to suggest me Dublin top 25, followed by London, Manchester, stuff like that. I think it's going geographically further and further. But this is also an amazing feature. And apart from this, of course, you're going to be finding top albums, top videos, and different kind of things. If you go back, you will be able to find only songs that support karaoke or the sing mode, as you said. And, be able to have a fun party night, maybe. Spatial audio, as we saw before, all the songs that support spatial audio. And different kind of charts and categories that you can just find here. Now, another feature that Apple recently introduced, which a lot of people have been asking for a long time, and actually I'm surprised it took so long for them to bring in, is crossfade. Now, I personally don't use crossfade, but if you do, you just enable this by going to settings and music, and as the name suggests, you'll be able to select between how long you want the crossfade to exist. What this is going to do, if you don't know what crossfade does, is basically it's going to overlap two songs so that you feel like it's a continuous song, one after the other, and you'll never hear a blank pause in between. Now, a lot of people that come from Spotify actually love this. I used to use this on Spotify back when I was on Spotify around 5 years ago or so. But because Apple Music never had this feature until now, I kind of grew out of it, and I've just kept it to off right now. Now, since we are on the settings page, I do want to suggest that there's an EQ setting that if you want, you can change. Now, this will apply only to Apple Music and not to your entire system, so beware of that. I like to keep it on off because I just like how the AirPods, each of them have been equalized, and I like to hear the music the way it has been recorded. Of course, I do turn on spatial audio, which I highly recommend. Now, I always have this on spatial audio to fixed. There's another mode called head tracking. What this is going to do is that wherever your device is located becomes the center point, and if you move your head around, it's going to feel like the sound is still coming from the source or the device, so it can move on your left or right and stuff like that. But I like to keep it on fixed, and you will realize between off and fixed is that when you keep it on fixed, the sound is going to be much more open, as if you're in a much larger space, and make it sound much more breathier, much more open and bright. And I absolutely love that. Now, I wasn't aware of the next feature for a really long time, and when I found it out, it was bonkers. Did you know that in Apple Music, you can search a song by literally searching for its lyrics? So let's say you have a song and you kind of remember the lyrics, but you don't remember what the name of the song was. So I'm here just gonna search for some lyrics maybe. So let's say, chain myself to a friend. I search for that, and it's gonna give me Instant Crush, the song by Daft Punk, which has so I chained myself to a friend right there, and it's gonna give you that lyric as well. How amazing is that? And I do not believe that I didn't know this for until very, very recently. Now let's say you're listening to a song and you want to share that with the world. Well, if you just click on this 3-dot menu on your now playing screen, you can actually share this as an Instagram post, for example, or a story right away. So if you click on share, if you go to search for Instagram, it's actually going to create this amazing artwork for you with, the colors in the background and stuff as well. One thing to be aware about is you cannot add music here to this. You cannot add a song to the story that you have added from a third-party app. I don't know why Instagram has this dumb limitation. What you can see is that right on top here, people are going to get an option to play it directly on Apple Music. So if they click this, they're going to be able to directly open it in Apple Music and play it from there. If they have the Apple Music subscription, of course. Now, for anybody who's into Western classical music, Apple actually recently launched an Apple Classical Music app. You'll have to download this from the Play Store if you don't have it already, but it's free, and if you have an Apple Music subscription, you will have this for free as well. So if you're into any of the Western classical, Beethoven and all that other stuff, you can actually find it in the Classical app. Now, in my opinion, it would be amazing if Apple actually expanded this to include Eastern classical music as well. For example, back home for me in India, Indian classical music is huge and it influences every single music that comes out of India. It would be amazing, and I know that people will pay lots of bucks for any music service that can provide quality classical music. So I think Apple should definitely consider expanding into those markets. I'm pretty sure other Eastern countries will have that as well. But if you're into that kind of stuff, if you're into classical, you can find it here and you don't need to pay a single buck extra for that. As long as you have the Apple Music subscription, you're going to be fine. And it also works on the student subscription, which is great. Alright guys, so those are the features that I love about Apple Music and wanted to share with you. Now, if you guys learned anything new in this video, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, I would love to know which one's your favorite feature out of these, or if you have any other features that I might have missed out on. So don't forget to comment down below with your thoughts. Until then, see you next time.